Hello, couch potato queens. We're back at you, coming to you from in the zone. We are covering the challenge, season 38, Ride or Dies, and I'm joined today with Doug. How are you doing, Doug?
I am doing well. I'm just trying to figure out what level of pussy chicken I am. So that is what I've been debating,
Level
trying to
2.
figure it out all day. If I'm a level 2 or a level 3. Yeah. You know what level you are of pussy chicken, Steven?
I'm like level 5.
Level 5. Wow. That's up there. It was quite the premiere.
Yeah, I'll say. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of things I was not expecting. But that was really good. That was really refreshing. I don't know, not having Josh, and there was something about it that was so enjoyable. It was very different. Like no Josh, no Kyle, no CT. Unpopular opinion of mine.
I miss Kyle. I will say that. But yeah, it did feel. I mean, it felt like we needed the other 3 teams that aren't there yet, especially Johnny. I mean, it just felt like there was that missing element to the cast. And we're going to get it, obviously, but it did feel a little bit, I don't know, light in some areas.
Yeah, a little bit. And everyone, if you have not already, be sure to smash that like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. So we see the boat ride in, and I don't know, it was pleasant. It was pleasant until the champagne is popped, and I don't know. I guess Turbo didn't get his. So that scene, I can't.
It was a good reminder of Turbo, and like it, I had forgotten for a minute how brash and ridiculous Turbo was, and it wasn't even 5 minutes into the episode where I was like, "Oh yeah, Turbo. Yep, that's there he is. There's Turbo on our screen being Turbo again, and Turbo versus Laurel. That's going to be some conflict that I don't think that'll be the first time that those two will have some contention between each other.
Like at all. I mean, I guess I could see, if he's feeling left out that he didn't get any champagne, but I don't know. There's a way to go about it.
I mean, he would rather die than take water from Laurel.
He would not take his last sip of water from Laurel if it came to it.
He just met Laurel too. I honestly believe that's probably true.
They did meet. They did meet on War of the Worlds 2, but probably.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that they did share a season together. All right, fair enough. I'll allow it, I guess.
Laurel was gone early thanks to Ninja.
Yes. Oh God, Ninja.
But they all run into the house. That's always one of my favorite scenes. But it was definitely missing Johnny. Like I feel bad that Johnny didn't get to run into the house and give the toast.
I mean, we needed anyone to give the toast besides Nelly, because that had to have been the worst toast of all time in challenge history, right? I mean, that was just so bad. There was like nothing to it. It was
really fucking
terrible.
Bad. I don't know what he loves having like sound bites. Like I remember last season, he just like yelled to the sky, "Spies, lies, and allies!" Like he definitely had that. He had that prepped, but didn't really prep that well.
Oh, Nelly.
Yeah,
you would have thought that he would have had one prepared, because it seemed like very deliberate that they were going to have Nelly do the toast for them.
I'm quite surprised Devin didn't try to be honest.
Who?
I'm very surprised that Devin did not try to give the toast.
I'm surprised by that too, actually.
But so like with everyone entering the house and like within the first, I feel like the first 10, 15 minutes, we're getting like intros of the pairings. Who from the rookies were like standouts to you?
I don't know. We didn't really get much of like Kim and Colleen, so that wasn't very. I don't know. There wasn't very much of that until they got nominated. Um, None of the rookies really stood out to me in their intro too much. I don't know. I didn't. I guess they didn't really stand out to me in any meaningful way. Did you have someone that thought stood out in the beginning for you?
Well, I will say Nerys definitely did, especially when we find out that her and Johnny are, I don't know, lovers. Like they didn't even make it onto the plane to Argentina before they started making out. They were making out in the airport. And
I love that though. I mean, it's gonna be horniness. Let's just start it off right.
yeah, and apparently I listened to Tori and Anissa's podcast today, and for one, okay, all of these, everyone on the whole cast, they clearly know at least some of the people who are coming in later, because Anissa was on the plane with them. Well, that's a different story.
Yeah, because I mean, well, Anissa was supposed to have a different partner, right? Was her original partner on the plane too?
You could you could see him in the background in last night's episode, but I think that he looks just enough like Jack to where producers could be like, let's just leave him in there.
How shitty for him to get all the way there, then be like, just kidding.
I'm hearing now that out of the two pairs of Anissa and her gay bestie and Casey and her brother, at least one out of each pair got COVID. That's what I'm like definitely hearing now. And
okay.
Which is also why Casey was taken out of the game.
Right, but she's clearly coming back. Like we've seen her in the promos. Like that, I don't understand why MTV does this. Like it's so stupid. Like especially in this episode, we're supposed to act shocked when Johnny comes in and like pretend that everybody else is shocked when Johnny comes in. Like you showed him in all of the promos, and he was in your intro package. Like what are we doing here? If you really want the element of surprise, then keep it that way. I guess to some extent, or just don't. Just stop. Like, why do you have to have them come in later? It's not even. I don't know. It's dumb to me. It's very stupid.
And Johnny was, clearly staying in the same hotel as them, like when teaming. Like,
but I do wonder how the logistics of getting Jordan there happened, though, because it does seem like that actually was a surprise. So if they were able to separate Jordan from being there, I mean, so they flew him in after Anissa's partner got COVID. Is that why that happened that way?
I'm pretty sure that I don't think the twist was not like, or as far as the twist, like the pairs coming in was not fully determined all at once. That was definitely, because you can tell the production will when something happens, they just have to pivot and go another way. So I do know, like Johnny definitely like flew there with them, just because him and Nani are kind of coming in at the same time of the start ish. But what I'm pretty sure is going to happen is for the first 3 episodes, the end of the episode will be TJ bringing in another pair, because
that's what it seems like. It seems like they're setting it up for that.
Jordan came later, and I'm pretty sure it was late into I guess spoiler season that it was told that Veronica and Darrell were coming in. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to be coming in until like the 3rd episode.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, you miss 3 challenges, 3 eliminations, and then just get to enter the game. I mean, although alliances and other connections are being formed in that time too, I guess, is on the other side of that. But still, it would be nice to just skip and not have to worry about those first 3 challenges.
Yeah, and I mean, I get maybe I get that if they're being brought in as a twist, like mercenary type situation. Okay, but I mean, we all know Casey and her brother come back into the game, and I don't see why that was allowed. The only thing I can think of is Nani probably said, "No, I need Casey here. I'm not coming in unless Casey comes back," and they waited for them to get a negative COVID test. I don't know. I wish they wouldn't just like tiptoe around COVID and just tell us.
Yeah, well, it was interesting though because they gave Casey a confessional where she was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be hard being out here without Nani. Like,
Yeah,
please
and
send me
like, and
Nani."
Tori's like, I can't believe Nani. Yeah, it's so weird that Nani's not here. I'm like, would y'all stop? Would you stop, please?
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Anyways,
that was too much. But I did like the scene. I did like seeing Fessy and Colleen in the hot tub, and the spy music comes on, and Colleen's like, "Yeah, I was on a show called Love Island. No, I was really on a spy show called The Mole. I was the mole." And I really love that. I was like, okay, this duo's giving a little bit. Like normally, I don't know. A lot of the time I've seen like the international teams, I don't know, they won't put it all in, but and like give it their all. Like I really like she's playing it up a little bit more. But
yeah, I mean the lie didn't last long. I feel like the whole house knows now, especially after Jack like already figured it out.
Jack. I will say, Jack. That's the rookie that stood out to me. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Like this is the messiness that we've been needing. I'm like, okay, this was a good cast decision.
His outfit with the bow, I was like, okay, all right, Jack. All right, I'm on board. You could wear that. I will allow it. No one else can pull that off, but I will allow you to.
Yeah, really. Yeah, nobody else could. But
do we know if Jack is bisexual? Do we know his orientation?
He's at least. I mean, I don't know that he ever did.
Is that just like a nice little bisexual relationship between Laurel and Jack?
Oh, now that we could do.
That'd be cute.
Yeah, but Colleen like telling this lie. The way when he says that he did his like research. I really hope to not think that it's because of the online spoilers. But I don't know any other way that he would have been able to, like Jack would have been able to find out where she's been on, like that she's been on something before. So probably at the airport when he's just like quickly Googling and then clocks her.
I could see that happening. I mean, he obviously wasn't like watching the German Mole and knew her from that, but yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I've clocked her. This is public information, honey. And but I was living.
Look at Laurel.
I was living. But that's I don't know. This is one of my favorite duos easily.
Oh yeah, I was so nervous when they were about. I thought that they were going to get thrown in for sure. We'll talk about it once we get into the zone. But yeah, I was very nervous about it being Laurel and Jack down there. I was like, there's no way we can lose them in the first episode. That would be terrible.
Dude, I wouldn't have.
No.
I'm still. I'm not. We'll get into that. I'm a little upset about the way that the first one went.
Same.
Yeah, not happy. But they go to the first daily. What was it called? Bolas for Blood.
Bolas for Blood. And right before that is when they say that Casey and Kenny are gone, which is interesting. They're like, all right, Casey and Kenny are gone, so we're going to bring in 2 teams. I'm like, that math doesn't add up, but okay. If
Yeah.
you want to bring in 2 for 1, I guess. Okay.
I guess I'd forgotten that that Olivia and Horatio, that they were alternates, because I was wondering, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wondered where Olivia's been, because I've been waiting on her. Like, that's one of the ones I've been waiting to see. Like, Olivia,
Yeah.
I've been waiting to see them, and it's kind of bullshit she didn't get a boat ride in, but yeah, 2 teams. Like, take 1 team out, bring 2 teams in, then we're gonna bring 3 more teams in.
The math isn't mapping, but we're fine with it. It's fine.
Yeah, at all. But this daily, I thought it was actually kind of cool, because it was like specific to each duo, with like the letters in their name, like how old they were, this and that. But Nelson, come on. And I love that I love that the producers were like, so how many is this? So I think
51.
this was number 52 for him.
And he could have won. This is why it's been 52. It's because he always does like dumb shit like that. Well, sometimes he just doesn't even have a chance. But you would think that within 50 tries. And so I like that the producers are playing into that, and that is such a well-known thing now. I feel like the rest of the house knows, and is also just ragging on him for being terrible in dailies, and I'm here for it. And I'm here for him not knowing how old he is, and that being the reason why they lost.
But I think this is some, I don't know, definitely, I can't. This is clearly, like, if they're going to make a whole storyline about it, I think that sometime this season, that's some foreshadowing for him finally getting one. I don't know. It's a long streak, and he should be proud of it, I guess.
I mean, yeah, sure. He could be proud of it. I didn't really like this. I agree with you in that, like, I liked that the challenge was kind of about having to know certain things, but it also, I don't know, there was no real, like, physicality to it. There was, and it was just like, and there was like too many of them. I don't know. It felt like the challenge was too short too. It felt like a very condensed like time for them to enter into this first challenge. And I want the first challenge to be a little bit more, I don't know, have a little bit more depth, I guess. Like it just seemed too brief. And like I liked, back when you got like all the girls going after each other and all the guys like going after each other or something. I just feel as though this is a pretty lame first challenge in terms of the whole layout and structure of it. I didn't think was very developed.
Yeah, I guess, if I was a challenger, I wouldn't really be able to tell the athleticism of others really from this.
Yeah.
It really was more of what do you know? What's the cumulative?
I feel like they probably took more time creating those structures with their names on it. Those things were massive. Like, what was the point of that for a challenge that's going to last, like, it seemed like it lasted like 20 seconds or 20 minutes. Like, it couldn't have lasted that long. All they had to do was go into a pit and find a number and then go back to their thing and put it on there. So it just seemed as though it was pretty brief and that there wasn't enough depth to it for me.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But Johnny and Raven end up winning.
Yeah.
Which I looked at challenge stats. The only other time that a rookie has won the very first challenge they've ever entered was way back. It was Leroy and his partner whoever that was, and Janae and her partner. So whatever their first season was, I can't remember that, but it's only been done once before. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
But
I mean, I will say that it set the stage well. I'm really glad that for this first episode, we didn't. I mean, if the one of the vet teams won, I think it would have just set the tone for rookie steamroll to go out quickly and for the first few episodes. So it's great that we did get this. I think it added so much intrigue to start, and so I'm glad that that's what happened and that we did get a rookie team in there. And quite honestly, we'll get into their choices and stuff, but they didn't hold back, and so I appreciate that too. That they were ready to make some moves. I thought that they were playing pretty strategic in what they were doing. I don't know if it was too bold, but yeah, I was at least intrigued by what they were doing.
and I think that production wanted this kind of route because last year it was just, veterans. It was nothing but veterans. But I think with them bringing in, 6 of the vets later on, the numbers aren't there for them. So this was, they had a much better chance of winning and being able to make the power move. And we did see Johnny Raven, Michelle, Jay, Amber, and Chauncey start to form like this rookie alliance. And I like that. Well, see, it's not even, I don't know. The word vet gets thrown around so much. And just because you've been on like one challenge, you're not really a vet. So I'm glad that, Michelle, Jay, Amber, they kind of see it that way. They're not just like, oh, I've been on one season. I've been on 2 seasons. Let me go with Johnny,
Right.
Like if you're somewhat new, still stick to it. So I thought that was a really good move. I don't know. It's going to benefit them.
I'm just loving the energy out of Amber. It's like a whole new energy with her having Chauncey there. And you can just tell that she doesn't feel so isolated and feels like she actually has some support, feels like she has someone that she can trust. She's never been able to really have anybody to trust. And so it's nice to see that side of her with a little bit of confidence and a little bit of sparkle in her eye. And I like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. She's in a much better place, and she actually has a shot now. Even though she won before, but she has her way.
Yeah.
Jelly Donuts, I would have as well.
Or just the plane ride. Just show me what the plane was like. Show me what the airport was like, and show me what the plane ride was like. I want to see that.
We just have to go to Anissa's camera roll. She literally was like taking photos of it.
Okay, I love
so
that.
Ridiculous. She strikes again. So the deliberation setup. So with them picking 4 teams, that's a lot for one. I would think maybe 3 at most, but I don't know. What do you think? What did you think of like how the deliberation is set up this season?
I mean, well, once we learned that, I think if it was just like 4 teams and then you pick one to go in, then it would have been a little bit arbitrary or a little bit too much. But the fact that they have that whole dagger situation so that it is actually 2 of the teams, and then all of the teams really have a role in the zone and in the elimination, I was okay with it at that point. But you think about it, there's a pretty big penalty for winning. Yes, you are safe, but you're pissing off 4 teams by putting them all in. Like, I mean, that's a lot of teams to put in. And like usually, and you saw this kind of play out with the way that they did it too with Raven and Johnny, that they did it. Like they put in Kim and Colleen to just kind of like throw them off, but they can't. I mean, the winning team's not going to be able to do that going forward because all the teams that you put into the interrogation have the chance of going down now. It's not like, okay, we're only going to pick one team and we can just throw in a couple of buffer teams or something. Like, you've got to be really strategic with those 4 teams and who's going to be going in, who you're voting in, and then who is going to get the power to put the other team in. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics there that end up playing out once we saw the way the zone works and those daggers.
A lot. There's just so much to consider when, like, from now on, like having to with the 4 that you choose. That's a lot to consider. And I don't know, I really like the way that the dagger twist is set up, actually. I really like that, because it's not just, you pull your in. It's, I don't know, the safe team. I'm ready to see the safe duo end up sending in the duo that, like, the duo that they send in comes back into the house and is like pissed at them. Like, I want to see like friends have to choose between friends.
I mean, that's what happened this episode, but I don't think that Devin and Tori are really going to be that pissed at Kim and Colleen. It didn't even seem that they were that pissed in the moment. Yeah, but that was, we'll get into it, I guess, when we get more into the zone and into the elimination, because the interrogation I didn't really think was, what did you think of how they interrogated the teams and the questions and everything? And well, I was more interested in how the teams that went into the interrogation were going to react to it, and what they were going to say and what alliances and stuff they were going to make. Obviously, they're all going to be like, you save us, we'll save you. But they each kind of had a little bit of a different approach as to how they were handling that aspect too.
Some of them did well at talking. Kayla didn't really. Kayla was like, I'm not kissing ass the first week. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Jack was at least like, here's the tea on Colleen. She was on the
yes.
She lied. She lied to win.
Yeah, the real travesty, even, I think, is actually losing Sam instead of losing Kayla. Sam had such a great first episode, and I'm sad that he's gone already. I loved when he was like, what was it that was said when he was like, yeah, Kayla, well, that's just because you're so accustomed to losing. I was like, oh, damn, you are just newly married, and you ain't wrong, but that was, I love it. I loved that.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think Kayla was doing anything in... Neither of them really did much to try to avoid getting picked, I thought.
Yeah, they well, it was more, well, when they go to the club and, well, the club, I think that's the next part of the episode. For one, okay, the club setup I thought was a little tragic. It was not I did not think it was cute. I did not think this season has like a cute club setup by any means. What did you like? It looked.
No. I didn't even really notice it too much, to be honest. I felt like we didn't really spend much time there. Yeah, I didn't even really notice it too much besides just background setting.
Maybe I just pay attention to everything, but it was just giving real country. It was not what I was. I wish they would send them back to like real nightclubs.
Right. I agree. And then show us the bus rides there and back, because that's always when the shit went down.
That part
is when they were on the bus. Like some of the most like iconic scenes were when they were on the bus going to and from, being really drunk. Okay, yeah, that's bad. What is going on? What is this? Ew. Is this just another part of the house?
Well, I remember on Double Agents, they like had their little like igloo that was kind of close to it. But I mean, we never do see them get on a bus. So I wonder if they like, well, that looks like it has some structure to it. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know if they
some structure, but what is going on? Like, what
Tori's
is behind Tori?
Getting low.
God. Thanks, Tori.
Yeah, I can't. But that, I don't know. I do like always seeing like the first like club scene. I mean, everyone tries really hard, like just to like look like we're having so much fun. Like this guy. I'm like, why are all of the men
Oh God!
here?
Don't give Tommy what he wants. Why would you ever?
He's like, this is the funnest night of my life. I'm like, I don't want you to have fun.
No fun for Tommy, please. Not allowed.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like the whole clubbing, like the club night part of each challenge, it really is for like game talk. That's like,
yeah,
after, I guess, like after the, teams have been picked, that's really what it's made for. And like Kayla just didn't even want to socialize. Like Jack's over there like gassing up Raven, like being like, yeah, make a big move, this and that. Like he's gassing her up, like he's doing it well. But Kayla's like, oh, I don't want to be social.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I don't understand what Kayla's deal is. Like, you're on this game. Like, come on. This isn't a honeymoon. This is the challenge. So get to work. And like, she's used to going in quite early too. So you would think that after quite a few seasons of being picked to go in first, that she would try a different strategy and actually try to like make some inroads with people. But apparently not.
Yeah. Like act like it's your husband's first time on the challenge. Like if you're not going to do it for you, do it like,
yeah.
Like we know you just got done with All Stars, but come on, give it a little bit more. But I mean, I don't know. Kayla's personality says to me, I'm not going to do this with rookies. I don't think that was ever going to happen.
Yeah, I guess. But when the rookies are in power, you kind of have to. Otherwise, you get what you get. And she got.
But honestly, if I was a rookie and, these vets are telling me like, yeah, we'll ride with you after I've already like nominated them. I mean, there's nothing that they could really say to me that would make me believe them. At that point. Like, unless you're Jack, like giving some information, which that didn't really do much for him. Like about Colleen didn't do much for him, but I don't know. I wouldn't really believe it personally.
Yeah. I think it showed that he was like just really. I don't know. It just showed that he was really wanting to stay there, and that like he was trying to gain favor with them, and that was more so than what Kayla and Sam were doing to some extent. So at least showed effort, I guess, more than anything.
I mean, yeah, they gave effort, but honestly, at this point, now that what we know about the 4 teams, it's like, well, you might be going in regardless. Like it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, because even if you get picked by the team that won to go in, it's really not that much. I mean, you still have a pretty big chance of going in from being picked by another team. So, yeah.
Dude, I know. Oh my. Okay, so fast forward to the elimination because I don't think anything else really happens between.
I don't think so either.
And elimination, but they go into the zone. Now I'd really been wondering what this this dagger situation was going to be, and I'm definitely glad that it's not something like Dirty 30 or Free Agents, where if you pull it out, you're in. And that's what. Hi, Andrew. That's what I think. Tori and Devin and Jack and Laurel thought. Like TJ was like, it's blank.
Yes. No, I love the way that played out. I mean, it played out so perfectly too, that the first 2 that were pulled out were blank, and that the last one that was pulled out was the safe one. I mean, they couldn't have planned that any better. And I think that it was perfect too that the rookies were the ones that pulled the safe. So production really looked out, especially in this first episode, with the way that everything played out for them, because that was probably the most drama and intrigue filled way that it could have played out.
And part of me kind of wonders, was production like, was production like, hey, you guys pull this one, I don't know. It's like that. It just seemed almost too good to be true. Like it was written perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it worked.
But we have got to talk about, oh my gosh, my favorite part of the episode when Tori and Devin pull out the dagger, and I would live for this. Devin's like, be careful, Turbo. Yep, they're real. Watch where I'm making a joke. And Turbo's not fucking having it.
I would just, if I am in that house, I am never making a joke towards Turbo. Like, it's dangerous. There's no reason to try and make a joke in any way, shape, or form that's somewhat directed at Turbo. It will come back at you. He's not gonna laugh. Have you ever seen the guy laugh? I've never seen him laugh. I don't think he has the capability. Like, you just don't do it.
I've only seen him be like,
yes, right.
Like
right,
he's
right,
only. But no, I mean, Turbo said, you're gonna joke, and part of me wonders, I mean, maybe it could be a little bit of also just like language barrier. Like I don't know, he might not get the same humor, but I don't know. I've never thought that Devin's jokes were funny as it is. So yeah, but it's like the moment you say somebody's name on the challenge, like you say, if their actual name just comes out of your mouth, period. No, clap back at them.
Yes.
But Turbo said, Turbo says, what is it?
That he's a pussy chicken. The level 2 pussy chicken.
And I don't know. My favorite line was, if I were a bird, I know where I would shit. And I was living for it. I'm like, yeah. I was like, you get his ass, Turbo.
You shit on Devin's head. Please do.
Like,
but Devin he is always getting on someone's nerves because he brings it on himself, because he always feels that he needs to be part of every conversation and make a quip or have a little joke towards something, and then wonders why people get mad at him. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, you're just like not funny, Devin. Never thought you were.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So when we get to Kim and Colleen pulling the safe dagger, who did you think they were going to choose? Did you think that they were going to throw in Devin and Tori? And we didn't really get much justification either on why they picked Devin and Tori, did we? I don't really remember any like legitimate reason or any like full reasoning as to why they picked Tori and Devin over Laurel and Jack.
Well, I had been wondering if if it maybe would have gotten back to Colleen about her like being on the mole, but maybe it hadn't.
Yeah.
But she does say, I guess this part would make sense. She does say, that she's like, I trust the rookies. So if, out of the choices of a rookie vet versus a vet, go with the vet.
I guess that's true. I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense then, that she would want to at least kind of align with Jack. And maybe she saw Jack's really cool outfit and was like, I can't throw him in. He's wearing that really cool outfit. That would be rude, which I agree with. Thank you, Colleen.
But I don't know. It was it was really funny to me that she saves Jack right after he has spilled all of her tea.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, maybe it didn't get back to her that happened.
No way. Yeah, no way. I mean,
yeah.
That's going to happen.
If that got back to her, that would have been like such a legitimate reason to throw them in. So, and especially when it seems as though there wasn't really much reasoning otherwise, that would have definitely been a reason. So, however they were able to keep that under wraps and not let Colleen know is pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, and it really got to me. Devin is like he's like saying to them, he's like, we'll ride with you. And then Turbo's like, don't trust them. I'm like, yeah. I was like, keep it on, Turbo. I was like, get his ass.
I mean, maybe that was the real determining factor, is do what Turbo wants. I mean, if it's an even match, I'm going to protect myself and err on the side of safety and listen to what Turbo wants in that regard. So clearly just made an enemy with Devin, so might as well kind of side with that side of the house.
Yeah, and so I guess this season, I mean, because it is definitely pairs until the end. There won't be any like this. It's not going to be this is a women's elimination day. This is a men's elimination day. I think they're all going to be paired eliminations.
I mean, it better be. It's freaking called Ride or Die. They better have their partner till the end. Otherwise, it's pretty stupid. So, yeah, right. I think you're right, though. I think that the format will be you keep your partner, and it's always like a team versus another team type elimination.
Yeah, because I was really over the changing your partner theme, because we'd had it for like the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So over that.
I agree. I mean, I really do like the format that they actually got to pick their teammates. Well, for the most part. And yeah, and I do like a 2v2 type challenge. I mean, I'm sure though we'll still get like I think we'll still get some challenges or some eliminations where it's like the best of 3, right? So the girls will face off against each other and the guys will face off against each other. And then, like, if that was both a tie, then the third round will be random if it's the guys or the girls. Like, I bet it's not always going to be 2v2. I bet you still will have some 1v1s. But I think both teammates will be contributing to it, at least in some extent.
Because I've been wondering how we could possibly get a hall brawl out of this. But, no, what you said makes sense.
I think you could have the girls go against each other round 1, the guys go against each other round 2, and then like some sort of random choice for round 3 if it's even or something like that. I could see that. Yeah, I feel like they've done that in the past too, in some seasons.
So this elimination is called You Move, I Move, and I loved the ludicrous music in the background. When I move, you move. Just like that.
That was very appropriate. Yes, I agree.
That was really nice.
As I was watching this, I was like, I want that in my backyard. Like that would be a really cool
right?
like game to have, and like maybe not as large of a scale as that, but could you imagine? That'd be a good old time. You got just trying to maneuver that against another team. But I didn't really feel like it worked that well for the first elimination challenge. Again, both of these challenges, the daily and this elimination challenge, are just like, It reminded me more of the challenge CBS type challenges. And yeah, I do think that it was set up well for Tori and Devin to win this one because,
I mean, Kayla even calls it out. She's like, "This is his coffee table."
Yes, yeah. I mean, that was it. It wasn't even close. I don't know what they were doing, but it wasn't much. They only got 1 ball that entire time. Like,
yeah,
I didn't understand how it was that difficult.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I didn't like the mechanism of it all because you couldn't really like track. You couldn't see from like a top-down view like where all the balls were at once or how close they were to the edge. You really only knew when the ball actually got to the end and went down that chute that it was completed. But I don't know, it was kind of hard to track. I like when you can really tell like who's in, where both teams are at. It was just, I don't know, this challenge and this elimination just really didn't do much for me.
I mean, it would not surprise me if there was some way that production was able to rig this, because there was no way in hell they were letting Tori go home knowing damn well that Jordan was going to enter the house. Sorry.
Yeah, could you imagine? They're like, all right, we've got Jordan coming in the house in a couple of weeks, and then Tori and Devin just happen to go home first. Like, there's no way that could happen. And, like, also, it ruins all the intrigue. Like, that they're not going home because you've seen, like, it's just so annoying when that happens.
Yeah,
I would like to at least have a little bit of suspense.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we definitely could, but Tori and Devin win. Yeah, that wasn't even close. But it was so corny with them, like, calling each other Dave, and like I've known that they do that just because they do that whenever they've been on a podcast, they refer to each other as Dave and this and that, and like we got a whole ass confessional about the Dave thing. They're like, you got it, Dave. You got it, Dave. Oh, I want my mommy. They're so corny. Marie, oh my gosh, Marie's ex and Jordan's ex. Corny as fuck.
I mean, they even said it too. They're like, I know that everyone's annoyed with us, and you think that we're annoying, but we also think we're annoying, and we have to live with ourselves. I'm like, well, at least you're aware, I suppose. But like, then don't be so annoying. Be better. Figure it out.
Tori's self-aware for once.
I guess.
But now they've won. Cool. Go back. Sure. Good job, Tori and Devin. Whatever. Devin has never won a physical elimination. Shout out to Challenge Stats for pointing this out, and Jelly Donuts in the chat. Every single one of the eliminations that Devin has won has been some sort of puzzle.
Makes sense.
Throw his ass in a hall brawl. I want to see his ass get just obliterated.
Turbo versus Devin in a hall brawl. Give it to us, please.
I would love to see like Turbo and Fessy. That would be. I really would be curious to who would.
I don't think production's gonna let Turbo go into a hall brawl. I mean, that would just be a liability in general. But yes, a Josh and Devin hall brawl that's what we all want, ideally.
Jeez. So I thought I was hoping that they were going to bring in Bananas and Nany just a little bit sooner than they did, like not the very last minute, but that was also so overdone. Like, Laurel's confessional was so just like forced. She's like, not Bananas and Nany. I can't believe this just happened.
Oh my God. Not Bananas and Nany.
Like,
who would have saw that coming?
Bananas, sure. But it's just like, yeah, it's really weird. Nany's not here. Up, she is. And yet she walks out, and Kayla, one of her best friends, not there. Casey, her girlfriend, not there either. Like, she's probably looking out like,
oh yeah,
where is everyone?
Where is Nany's reaction to Casey not being there?
Well, she definitely knew. So when they went into the second quarantine, they got their phones back. And which makes me believe Jack may have been when Jack found out about Colleen.
Interesting.
But Nany definitely, I know, unless production wanted Casey to stay, I mean, I don't think they were going to, that's too big of a storyline for them to cut out. That's the only reason I can see like Casey coming back. It's like they have this, lesbian romance, or I shouldn't say that because Nany's not, but this romance that we've got to capture, it's too good to pass up. Like, we've got to bring Casey back. but I'm really curious. I'm curious how long that's going to be. Probably.
Like, do you think it's going to be a medevac situation where someone gets injured and then they're like the replacement? Because like, how else can you bring them back in? Like,
I actually have an idea, because we do hear TJ say something about him hating quitters or don't take care, hope to see you never. So I do know somebody quits. So that could be an easy in for Casey to come back, I guess, because there's no way in hell TJ's going to say, oh, they're all better now. They're not sick anymore. Here they are.
Right.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they bring him back in. But yeah, I think it's probably some sort of quitting or medevac situation. Also, I'm not shaming or anything, but Johnny has a little bit of a belly, more of a belly than I thought he was going to have. I was like, okay, Johnny, that, like, even in this picture, you can kind of see it.
You can see it. And because I guess he's taken 2 seasons off. And it's only been two 36, 36. Yeah, 2 seasons off, and hasn't been training quite the same way. He's been like doing his podcasts. I don't know. He's been doing a lot more, but
yeah. Did you notice? I mean, did you feel that way when he was walking out too? I was like, oh, that's not the same Johnny form as I'm used to seeing. And I mean, this is a strong cast too. And I mean, Nani is okay, but it's not like she's really one of the most dominant female competitors on there. So
Jelly Donuts. Greetings, Earthlings.
I
still don't know why they were so pissed about Greetings, Earthlings, but
I think it's just because it was so weird. I think they were just like caught off guard with how weird she was being.
Like, we're MTV reality. We're not weird. Yeah, Jelly Donuts. Give me the manager, because I think he had about enough time on our screens. I think that was good.
Well, he's coming back, right? Or Casey doesn't come back with a different partner, does she? She comes back, Kenny.
I want to know how long. I would be surprised if Casey's not back in the next episode. With however they need to do editing, they could probably delayed the next challenge for a few days just to get her back in there, but they're not going to pass up like Casey and Nani.
Yeah. The other part that I thought was interesting about the eliminations is that this season has you have to be qualified to run my final aspect.
Thank God.
We've had that for the last 4 seasons, or I don't even know how long, but like there's no gold skulls, there's no money, there's no any of that. It's just, okay, it seems as though the only real thing, it seems as though we know the format now. If you've got the teams, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of twist somewhere through there, but there's you have to qualify to run my final type aspect, and we haven't had that for several seasons, and I'm fine with it not having that. I don't really feel,
those seasons, like Double Agents, like with that being the case, it was like it takes the drama away, because it's like I want to go into elimination. Now, I don't want anybody to want to go into elimination. That takes away such a big aspect of the game.
Yeah, I didn't like that, because then it was always like, well, we'll throw in the weak team, and then you've got to get your skull or whatever to qualify. And I get what they were trying to do, but it never even ended up working that way anyways, because there was hardly ever the situation where, I can't remember a situation where they got to the end of the season and it was like, well, you've made it this far, but you didn't qualify to run my final, so you got to go home. Like, that never happened. So why even put that mechanism into the game if it's never going to actually play out that way? Like, especially on the last CBS season with all that money, like everybody had enough money in the end. So to be qualified. So it was just like, I don't know. I'm glad that they got rid of it, because I do think that it was stupid.
Yeah, I agree, Jelly Donuts. I need the 2 seasons a year, or like 1.5 seasons a year, where it'll bleed over. But maybe that's why I was so just pleasantly like surprised with the premiere. It's because we haven't had one in, oh my gosh, over a year. Yeah, season 37 premiered in August, so that's the longest they've probably ever gone without the next season.
Yeah, I mean, but even in this episode, we lost 2 teams, I guess, because we lost. But then we gained 3.
We lost 2, gained 3. Like, what the?
And then, I mean, for the next 2 weeks, we know we're going to at least be a net 0. You're going to lose a team, but bring in another vet team. So that's what makes the seasons last so long, too, is because we can't even count on them. And then I'm sure we'll have like a non-elimination. They'll do like a cliffhanger and not even show us a team going home halfway through. So, yeah, they really do need to be better about like actual episodes and formatting it. But I'm sure this is going to be a long season. We'll go probably till Christmas.
Oh my gosh, it'll definitely go longer than that. Oh my gosh, this is going to be, I think there's 19 episodes maybe.
Oh damn. Yeah, that's
maybe
a lot.
maybe honestly even more than that. Jelly Donuts tea.
Oh.
It's all connected.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. At least we know we're going to get a couple cliffhangers. There's reason to watch the next episode for the next 4 weeks at least. I don't know. Production did a good job at that. I don't know. I'm excited. We haven't had a season that's had this many winners in a while. The last one was War of the Worlds 2. And there's very few times that we get, I think I saw there's at least 8 winners in the house, which is that's a good
That's
bit.
a lot. Yeah, I think it's a pretty open race. I think it's a pretty competitive amount of people too. And so especially too, if they're going to make these challenges not very, I mean, this first ones were pretty crapshoot. So who knows who's going to be winning? I hope that they get a little bit more physical demanding, because that's what I like to see. And especially when you've got such strong athletes in the house, like give them something actually athletic to do. But yeah, I think I could see, and it seems as though the team that wins gets a lot of power, makes a lot of enemies, but gets a lot of power. So I'm here for the format. I'm here for some of the new personalities, and yeah, and we'll see where it goes.
I'm here for Jack.
Yes, me too, and Horatio.
Obsessed.
That's what I'm here for. Yes.
So with that said, I think we're going to wrap this up. And if you have not already, go ahead and smash that like. Be sure to follow us. You can follow us on Twitter at Couch Potato QUNZ, or go to our Instagram at Couch Potato Queens. And Doug, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dofurg, DOFURG. Yeah, and I'm excited to be back next week and see what the challenge brings us. And are the vets still going to be in trouble? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will. And you can find me on Instagram if you want, but just go to the bird at wasreallygood1. And with that said, everyone have a good night, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.